Wilson, who is our third place winner. So her story was Up and Out, which was a story that James wrote. So congratulations, Mary. And then Andy Callus, our judge from Reuters, is now going to speak a bit about the second place story, why we chose it, and then present the award. Vanessa is here today.
Okay, very quickly, the wonderful thing for me about that story was that it was about two old people having a little bit of a love affair, but it was so cleverly written. I think there was only one scene setting in it, which was the walled garden, and then they were in the house with the plasticated furniture. Everything else was what was said and what was thought. I thought incredibly difficult thing to read out loud, but I thought you did it beautifully. And it as a result of that, you could be anywhere you want to be as a result of that story. I was taken straight away to a place where I used to see old ladies and old gentlemen sitting on benches when I was a little boy. I remember a shop around the corner from me and the excitement that went around in my very ordinary child life when people had that machine that you could plasticate things with, and how amazing everybody thought that was. And so I was taken there as well. You know, the passion, you know, maybe I'm a little bit strange, but I'm sure it was meant, but the little thread of sexual tension that just sort of gradually picks up all the way through the story, and then gets to that culmination at the end when he licks her on the ear. What a lovely story. I like this line very much, in particular. I'll find it then. No, let's do it. You don't get those dog-eared corners, she breathed, stroking the strong smoothness of his library card. Well, so, Vanessa, congratulations. Wonderful story. Gave me lots of joy and lots of good
Thank you very much to the judges, and thank you very much to Momaya. It's great, really great thing to get short stories out there. Well done, everybody. Thank you.
And then unfortunately, Lynn Voyce, who was our first place winner this year, couldn't be with us tonight, but I'd like to invite Kay Peddle, our judge from Random House, to talk about why it was that we chose this story.
I wrote this thinking I was going to say something about it before the reading, so forgive me if I state the obvious. But I also just wanted to say to Manisha that this is such a fantastic endeavor coming from inside a publishing house. I think it's just to encourage writers and to encourage people to focus, as you said, and enjoy writing, and also to enjoy listening. So you guys did an amazing job. Thank you very much. From Space is a carefully observed portrait, or rather a glimpse, of a marriage. It's a brief window onto a domestic scene that, sort of, in its brilliant execution, stays with you for days after you read the story. It's perfectly formed, and its circular narrative drops the reader into the middle of an unusual, but so obviously a universal human experience, and that's a troubled marriage or a troubled domestic scene where feelings of insecurity and frustration dominate, and where ultimately love and reconciliation triumph. The characters are rendered beautifully. The dialogue is crisp and concise, cutting to the core of the theme of family brilliantly. As the reader looks down on earth, a sphere of sapphire blue and emerald green against a blanket of absolute black, fragile in its perfection. One eventually finds the character staring back up at the stars and the heavens, slowly drawing closer to each other and to reconciliation, and realizing how fragile in their perfection their relationship is. We chose From Space as our winner because of its perfect narrative control, its wonderful evocation of this year's theme, the beautiful imagery, and the utter humanness of its characters.
To conclude this evening, well, no, this is the end of the formal proceedings. We are shortly going to be served dinner and wine, so I'm sure she'll be welcome. I'd like to very much thank Andy Callus and Kay Peddle for their participation as judges, and thank you all for coming tonight.